Ransomware has become a common term, but what is ransomware really stealing anyway? Grayson Milbourne is the Security Intelligence Director at Webroot, and he joins us today to highlight some areas where they're stealing just more than money. And he's also going to look ahead to the holiday season a little bit. Good morning, Grayson.
Good morning, Gary.
So many times we notice that the attack has happened, and how does this ransomware affect us? In what ways can it affect us?
Yeah, I think, what we hear a lot about is the end result of what happens with ransomware, and that's a company has been forced to pay a large ransom amount. I think what people don't understand is that's often the very end of the cyber attack. And what happens is before that, you're compromised, your business is disrupted. It also attacks consumers. So a lot of times we see people in the consumer space, their files, their pictures, their memories get encrypted, and they're convinced to pay. And so I think it's not just the cost, but it's also the inconvenience.
Yeah, is it just that they're trying to blackmail people and get them to pay, or are they actually stealing stuff too?
Yeah, well, that's absolutely right. And in the last year, we started to see this double extortion technique of where not only do they encrypt your data to disrupt your business, but then they steal your data and they say, if you don't pay, we're going to release your data online. So it's pretty nasty stuff.
We've been hearing a lot about supply chains these days and how there are shortages because of it. Can ransomware affect supply chains and companies?
Yeah, and you know what? I think there's a couple of ways that this can happen, right? We have Cyber Monday and Black Friday just around the corner, and we know that ransomware actors and other cyber criminals really focus on this surge in consumer activity as a great opportunity for them. And so we can see this either happen where how trucks get packages to retail stores or to warehouses. If those were to be attacked, I can certainly see a big disruption. But then also just businesses themselves. If a business creates some product and they are unable to create it, both upstream and downstream, that can really impact the supply chain. So I don't know what's going to happen yet, but I definitely know something will likely happen.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. What are the ways we protect ourselves against this happening?
Yeah, so to stay safe online, I would say I would always start with using security software and backing up your data. And Webroot.com has some great examples of that. But beyond that, I think you can be a security-aware shopper. And similar to Snopes and us checking to say, hey, is that article legitimate? There's another site called Scam Advisor, which will help you understand whether that website where you found a deal that, given it's Black Friday or Cyber Monday, we expect to find some really great deals. Some of these deals are just too good to be true, and in fact, either lead you to ransomware or otherwise will steal your credentials and your financial information.
Wow. I didn't realize it was that prevalent during these big sales. That's pretty frightening, really. Is that a big deal? Does that happen a lot?
Yeah, we see an annual cycle with ransomware and cyber attacks. And so certainly the holiday season is something that we see a spike every year. And what's tricky about these sites is they're not very long lived. You will see them come up for a day or less and capture a lot of information. And then they'll register a new domain and it's rebranded. But, they try to sell you goods that, that are much too cheap, right? So that's one of the big giveaways. But again, stacking that on top of Cyber Monday when people are expecting really good deals makes it more difficult to sniff these out, which is why, again, rely on security software, rely on services that are built to help you identify these.
Yep, the best deals may not be. All right, Grayson Milbourne, thank you very much. Appreciate it as always.
Thanks, Gary.
Take care.